Alright guys, and welcome back. We are here in the time-lapse episode, trying to get some things done. Here at the beginning I start out cleaning up the inventory a little bit, getting some things traded out, and getting some crafting out of the way. The goal here was to go ahead and get our character leveled up enough to take on the first boss, and I kind of wanted to do everything on screen just that way you guys could all see how far it took to get there. Now, in normal gameplay, of course, you wouldn't have to do this by yourself. It just so happens that there is a big dead spot in server traffic at the time I'm usually recording. Everyone in the US is more or less gone to sleep during the week, and everyone in Europe is not yet awake. I did manage to find a person here towards the end, another player who had been playing since beta, quit for a while, came back. So he was kind of new to the island, but not new to the game. I helped him out, took him around to the jungle and stuff, which we haven't been to yet, but he said he'd be willing to jump on if need be and give me a hand, so we're going to go ahead and proceed after this, and in episode 8 we're going to try our best to give Mr. Arkin the business. But I'm just going to do some grinding here. I've got some music on there in the background, and I'll let you guys enjoy. This is about 4.5 hours of tape, sped up to 12 times. Oh, look at that, we just bought the farm. But it's sped up to 12x, and it's really interesting. I'll tell you, if you get bored watching me grind through things, just look around at the interactive environment and some of the movements when I'm like sitting down and recovering health if the trees sway and such. Some of that is really interesting, like that one is really mechanical. It's obviously scripted, but there are some that even at high speed, it's hard to see the pattern. And I think that's really cool. The devs took the time to set that up. But I'm going to quit yapping until there's something interesting to talk about and let you guys enjoy the video. Alright guys, and here we are We're heading up to the Kratcha field, and that's mostly because those Caprinis I was fighting were just no longer giving me the experience I wanted to level very quickly. So I came up here where I could actually get some work done. At this point, I think I'm earning 1,100 experience a kill. Just bought the farm again. Can't remember what got me there. I think it was in Torbach. And those little bastards. Oh no, I take it back. That was the Specialist Bandit, which is for a mission we haven't done yet. He is a named mob that just spawns in that area, hangs out, and wanders back and forth. And I was not very careful in remaining out of his area of aggro, so he came over while I wasn't paying attention and proceeded to hand me my behind. But we got it all squared away. The death penalty is still not that bad. I think I only hit 2,500 or so as far as points I had to work off, but we're headed back. We're going to keep grinding through them and see where that gets us. This is the caravan teleporter outpost I mentioned there that we just skimmed through. Later in the game I can get the ability to transport forward to that, which saves, as you might imagine, a lot of time walking from the ranger camp up here to the lake and the little island and the other missions that occur up this direction. So we're going to get back to the grind, and I'll see you next time there's something worth talking about. So I was just spending some time there, killing time for me while I was waiting on stats to recharge and such. But I figure this is as good as time as any to mention that I am trying to get a face cam going. I did get a 720p cheapo webcam, which seems to be, from the testing I've done, pretty decent quality. I'm probably going to start doing all of my personal videos on that, and I'm going to try and get a face cam going for you guys. Although I am left with a quandary of where to put it. I guess it'll probably go up in the corner where the compass is. Fortunately, I can drag that and move it somewhere else. It's just going to be me getting in the habit of looking somewhere else to find it, because I don't know that I can record the webcam. See, I'm having some problems as far as the screen capture software I'm using. Since I am running on Linux, everything tends to take an extra step or be at the next level. I got a buddy from work who describes me as one of those guys who just has to take it one more step because I run Linux. And that's true. A lot of things in the Linux world are not necessarily cut and dry. You don't just go find an application, install it, and use it because it's plug and play. Very often there's something you need to tweak or, mess around with a little bit to get it working quite the way you want it to. The upside being that you can go and do that. A lot of things with Windows you just kind of have to take at face value, and with Linux, if you don't quite like it, you can usually get it tweaked around to where it needs to be for you. So what I am trying to do is get my screen capture software to record the webcam into a different file so that I can place it where I want it in the editor without having to have it on screen. But if it ends up that I have to have it on screen, then I'm probably going to have to run two instances and record webcam in one and screen on the other, and just do windowed as far as the game goes, which you guys will never notice. It'll drive me up the fucking wall. So I'm going to try to avoid that. We'll see. I may switch and play with some other screen capture software out there and see what I can come up with. But that is coming down the pike. Also, I may be cutting back on these videos now that I've gotten this series kind of established, because I started doing this for fun and I've quickly realized just how much work it can be. I'm spending 3 to 5 hours a day during the week after I've gotten off work, getting things recorded and edited up, and I was 2 episodes ahead there for a little bit, and then I got lazy for 2 days, and here I am tonight doing a voiceover for a video I'm uploading tomorrow because I'm out of videos. So we'll see how it goes. It may be like a 3 a week instead of every day kind of thing, which I don't think is terribly out of line. And I may still do a video every night. I may keep up the pace. I just don't want to feel rushed to get one done and put out so that everyone can watch it. And by everyone, I mean the 9 whole subscribers I have at this point in time. By the way, shout out to those 9. Thank you for watching this absolute bullshit I put up on a channel. And I do get views, so somebody out there finds me entertaining. But I am going to try and keep up some kind of regular schedule. I've already put my pipe videos on a schedule, partly because they take a little more effort to get going. I have to have decent lighting, be dressed, and presentable, that kind of thing. And that's, of course, not an issue here. I can sit here in my PJs and a ratty old wife beater, and nobody knows the wiser. But I'll have to take that into account using the face cam as well, so I guess it's not going to matter. But we're going to try and get a schedule going. If things get a little funky and you don't see a video for a couple of days, it's no big deal. It's just me being lazy and trying to get some sort of schedule established so that I can continue to enjoy my gameplay and my editing, and you guys continue to get content. I don't know how long we're going to be able to run the Ryzom series in whole. I toyed with the idea of maybe doing a couple of seasons where I played as each race and specialized in a different thing, but ultimately, to get anywhere in Ryzom, you're going to end up dipping your toe into each of the pools as far as fight, magic, crafting, and harvesting. But there are people out there who specialize, and they have a rough time of it. For example, if I were only a harvester, I'd have to constantly have companions to fight for me and heal me and things like that. By the way, my toon is naked here because foraging wears on your armor. For whatever reason, it's counted as an action, and it does do, damage to the gear you're wearing. And since the Cray, which are the little crabs that are running around the island here, are social mobs who don't really mess about with you if you don't bother them, I didn't see any reason to keep wearing out my gear while I was grinding through some of this harvesting. So I just stripped my guy down and told him to go native. But that's kind of the state of the channel as far as what my schedule is going to try and be like. We are going to keep the content coming until I run out of shit to talk about, and then I'll just switch games and you'll have to deal with it. But that's me. I cycle around through hobbies, I do different things. I do pipe smoking, I brew beer, I do video games, I do ceramics, I do ham radio. There's just a ton of stuff going on in my life, and it's not really something I have a conscious choice over. I just come home one day, I'm sick of doing one thing, and 2 or 3 days later, something else has taken hold and the hook is deep. So, you guys who have subscribed and want to keep watching the content and don't really care what it is, welcome to the wild ride. Everybody else, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm trying to pre-title the videos according to the category they fall in, so if I get into a phase and you're not interested, you can just scroll past it. But we're going to go ahead and finish this out. I mainly just go through a bunch of grinding. Like I said, towards the end, you'll see a chat box pop up there, and that is a character who I talked briefly with, and he was interested. He's not a subscriber, but he mentioned that he would be willing to come on and give us a hand when we run into some problems as far as accomplishing things during dead time on the server, or just if I can't get a team together. So we may be seeing some of him. We may do a Skype co-op or something. I haven't really talked to him about it much at all, in fact, since this night, but that's a possibility. We'll see what happens, but we're gonna get back to the tunes and back to the grind. I honestly don't remember what I was doing here. I had to get up to do something, probably deal with the cat or get a bite to eat or something, but I did have to step away from the computer, and I forgot to edit it out. And at this point, quite frankly, I'm not going to tear the file back apart to do it, so you just have to deal with a few minutes of me sitting here treading water. It is really neat to look at the water there. Like, you can see that there's a wind direction affecting the water, at least an animated one, so that's pretty cool. Oh boy, and there we go, off to the races. Man, I wish you could run this fasting game. I would save so much time. Looks like we are headed back here to get some sap, I believe. I targeted the buo fiber, but I had forgotten to mark the Visic sap when I first found it here, so I'm SOL. I had to go digging around and find it again. I went back and forth through this time lapse as far as destroying items I didn't need or not mining them and deciding, well, the experience is worth it. This is where we start talking to our buddy over there. I cannot for the life of me remember his tag, but it doesn't really matter because it's only applicable in this game. He did give me his online tag, but I'm not going to go broadcasting that without speaking to him about it. I did ask him if he wanted me to hide the chat. He said he didn't really care, so I left it up there. You can read that for what it's worth, but we are I'm going to get a hold of him one of these times here, and hopefully we can get some co-op play going. I don't see any of that out there. There are a scattered few Ryzom videos out there on YouTube, but not many. And most of them are touch-and-go gameplay. I didn't see any Let's Play series, so I thought this would be a good choice as far as going the first Let's Play. And I did want to showcase what is, in my opinion, a great game that is vastly underplayed. It released in 2004, I think. Whenever WoW, I think either WoW was coming out or came out with an expansion, and EverQuest 2 released at the same time. And this just got lost. And it got so lost that they ended up shutting down the servers until somebody else bought it and brought it back to life, which is surprising in and of itself, because usually when an MMO dies, it's done. And somebody resurrected this and brought it back, and there are people out there, a really good community, who like to play it. So I wanted to show it off a little bit, you know, let people know who hadn't heard of it, that it was out there. I, to be honest, only discovered this because I was running Linux, and I was looking for games I could natively play in Linux. And I came across this little gem and played it and started poking around into the history a little bit. It's kind of neat. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for an MMO that's different, you know, this is very different. There's not really a set class system. Like I said, you can kind of be what you want to be. If you're willing to sink enough time in it, you can make an absolute god character that's good at everything. I can't imagine anybody that persistent, but I'm sure somebody out there has done it. I would definitely encourage you to check it out. You can play this on any major OS. You can play it in Linux, you can play it on Windows, Mac OS. Everyone everywhere can play Ryzom. But it's definitely worth checking out if you're in the mood for a slight change of flavor and a little change of pace. But this is pretty much all I'm getting done. I do some crafting, I sell it off, and then I run off to the Blight Zone and immediately change direction and go over to help our friend find the jungle up there. It's in the top left on the map here, and it's a little hard to find if you don't know the tunnel is there. He had not been there, which was surprising to me because he's got a decent tune, and without going into details, what happened is he played a long time ago, quit playing, came back, and because he had a paid account, the devs decided to drop his tune into this world, so that's kind of cool. You know, when customer support does something like that and helps the guy out. It was really a boon to me to have somebody so overpowered running around the world, but we're on our way up now to meet him, and we're going to take a dirt nap again because I wasn't paying attention. This time it was a Torbach. At this point in my character, I can handle one of them, usually. If you look up top there, you'll notice I had forgotten to change my action bar, and in the heat of the moment, didn't realize that that was the problem. So I was unable to attack it when I turned around and started spamming my number keys trying to get what I needed. There's our friend. He's come to our rescue, and now he's going to follow us way across the sea to the kitten's jungle. But that pretty much is going to wrap up what I've got to say. I'll go ahead and let the video play out, and I'll see you guys for episode 8.